Hey yo, it's Guido coming at you with a quick coffee talk, and we are going to announce the winners of my creation contest. We got about 7 or 8. I actually announced the winners on Coffee Talk Live, but I'm going to show a little bit of what was presented to me because it was some pretty good stuff. Really enjoyed that, by the way. So those of you who took the time to do this, fantastic. I will get with the various winners and get their prizing done for them. Remember, it was going to be $40 anything in the store for the top number one overall thing, $20 for the just best advice video, and $20 for something I hadn't considered or something new in there. So they were all fantastic. I do very much appreciate it, but we'll go through that. So we have Bonzi here, and this was one that wasn't a video. Everything else was some kind of video, basically. But we'll get to all those. We'll take a look at all of them. But this is the one that Bonzi did. Got the sweet Hetzer. It's got the GFLC sticker on it right there. It says Rompel on the fender, which cracked me up. It's obviously a Hetzer in here. These dudes, they're familiar. I'm not really sure. I don't think they're made up by Bonzi. I think they're a I don't know, a cartoon or something. See, this is I don't know. It's cool, but someone will have to fill me in down there. Basically, these two having a discussion. Guido 1212, my friend. By this point, I'm just asking you to even consider third-person shooting. At which point, apparently this is me. I'm sort of ignoring that, obviously. It would seem that RNG isn't cooperating today. Every match has been like this. And this dude is a ghost. I guess he always dies or something. Oh yes, this explains why I keep dying. One can't rely on RNG, and the other is still trying to convince him to try a different way to shoot. So I love it. Continuing the third person shooting controversy in Clan GFLC. Awesome stuff there. Noble, I do appreciate that. So that was the overall number one winner right there. I know. People are probably annoyed that I didn't pick a video, but this one was just so well done and clever, so I went with that. All right. So that was the overall winner, and we'll go through the rest of them here. Let's see what else we've got. Golaki, who's from the forum, put out, I think, one of the earlier ones, and I'm going to go ahead and drop this down here so we can get to Chrome and show this thing. So, oh, no, that's wasted space here. We're going over here to Golaki. All right, so he did the old meme with the Downfall, I believe, is the movie, the end of the Third Reich kind of idea right here. And I just wanted to show this one section, which all of these subtitles are fantastic. It's absolutely hilarious, but this is the kind of great humor that came out with it.
Mit dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Use camo and binocs and rainbow paint. It will confuse the enemy. Now, the funny thing is, I did have camo and binocs on that tank, so that was fantastic, man. Thanks. That one is well worth. All these links will be down below, by the way. That one's well worth taking a look at. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. So thank you, Golaki, for sending that. Some classic lines in there. Later on, all non-unicums out of the room when they all shuffle out, which cracked me up right there. The next one was Leave It to Beaver. Leave It to Beaver, and he took the game, and then he put George C. Scott's speech from the movie Patton, as he was playing Patton, onto the gameplay. And sometimes it matches up with what I'm saying, so it's actually pretty funny. So I picked this one out just to check out.
I want you to remember that no bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country.
Okay, the classic line from that speech is that one right there. So thanks to Leave It to Beaver for sending that in. That was awesome. The best thing about that one, and this is not an insult, but of the low effort funny ones, that was pretty genius in the mind putting those two together. I thought that was actually awesome, man. So thanks. I enjoy it. I listened to the whole thing. I've seen that movie, I don't know, 10, 12 times. I've heard that speech probably more because you run into it in other places, or at least hear quotes. So it was well worth watching. I did crack up to that one. So thanks for sending that in. So that was Leave It to Beaver. Again, all these links will be down below. All right, the next one is this the Chief? This is the Chief, and the Chief is the winner of Best Advice overall. The Chief did a really nice job breaking it down, giving all kinds of great advice in there. And I've already mentioned this, but first of all, this cracked me up. I got him, Chief, I got him. But this comment, as soon as he said this, I was hooked. All right, here we go.
Welcome to the Goat Locker. This is the Chief. I'm here to help Guido 1212 lead a stug life.
Okay, so welcome to the Goat Locker. I'm here to help Guido 1212 lead a stug life. That was great. This one touched on all kinds of subjects. Now, they all did, but the Chief really broke this thing down, did a nice job with it, with the editing and doing all that stuff. So I do appreciate that. So this one was winner of $20 Best Advice. Okay, just overall. Just I thought the whole package on this was really nicely done by the Chief. All right, very cool. Very cool. Thanks for sending that in, Chief. All right, Bonzi Duck. Bonzi Duck was the overachiever. Now, the first one had me in stitches, too, because this was fantastic. And the second one was a more serious video giving great advice, and he actually found something I did not notice, but we'll get to that. So let's jump in, because I want you to hear the first part of Bonzi Duck's first one, which was pretty awesome.
There is a fifth dimension beyond which is known to man. It is the dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area in which we call the Guido Zone.
All right, so the sepia tone or old movie filter that's on it, the cinematics that he uses actually are really nice, and I thought the voiceover was actually good. I'm telling you, Bonzi, I think you may have a niche here of, I don't know, something like this. Now, when you listen to it, it kind of morphs from the Twilight Zone into like a wilderness, a 1970s style wilderness, wild animal kingdom kind of documentary, right? That you saw on TV, where the guy's talking really low and often has a British voice, as you know, the predator is stalking through, you know, oh no, he sees a wild stug, or you know, that kind of thing. I can't even do it. So, but listen to it. I think you're onto something, man. I don't know. You might have a series there, or a niche, or something you can do. The dramatic, the kind of slightly over the top dramatic rendering of the voice is actually pretty good, man. I don't know. I just liked it. There was a part where he says, "What was the reason he went into the open? We'll never know." Well, because I was screwing up. There later on, he says something to the effect of he avoids the other stug with some form of ninja magic. And then, you know, maybe I can find it where I die here. Let's find out. Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
What will happen to our hero? We're done for. Everyone get out.
I don't know why that struck the old laugh button there, man. But that was I've said it several times already. But the dramatic rendition of "We're done for, everyone get out" with the slight pause after it's said there. That's why this thing is comedy gold, man. It's absolutely genius. And then later on,
his honor will stay forever. As we depart to the real world to load up the game again, to find another battle of tank versus tank, we say goodbye to Guido 1212 and his Stug 3. Fight again another day, our friend. This is Bonsai Dugout.
Very nice. I like that. That little 3D action right there. That looks good. And then the credits are even worth watching, you know, because that's my name. So, no, I'm just kidding. There's my favorite part. He actually throws in the I'll bring the sound down so you can hear me talk. He throws in the other players that he mentioned, which I thought was classy. Really, really well done, actually. You know, Luke's played by, filmed on location, Proc. That it was good, man. That was fantastic. And the second one then for Bonzi is going to be, and this was quite long, 27 minutes. I gave Bonzi the award on this one for the thing I did not notice. And he breaks this down, I think, about as well as the Chief did. But he noticed something, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't remember if the Chief noted this or not. I can't remember. But there was a point where in this game where I didn't notice something, and he did. Try to back it up here and see if I can find it. It's about the time I got spotted and killed. Right here. I think it is.
To getting shot by trying to take him out. But it's a decision that is...
Oh, okay, hold on. It was just about there. Let me back it up just a little bit more, see if we can find it there. There.
I don't know. I might have gone for the T6 because...
All right, so there was a T6 right there. It's the guy that actually gave me the most trouble and I think killed me, or at least was a big part of killing me. He was absolutely right. That was the guy that needed to die first, and then I could have dealt with him later on. I didn't even notice that, so I thought that was a great catch, Bonzi. That's what we try to do here on this channel. And I know Bonzi has his own channel. He's doing a lot of this stuff too, so really nicely done, sussing that out of the that piece of wheat out of all the chaff. So nicely done. So award for the one I did not notice. Very good. All right, and one more honorable mention here to Wasted Spacer, who I really appreciate that picture, brother. That cracks me up. Coffee Corner, I'm all aboard. Fully roasted. Wasted Spacer's fully roasted. Very nice, man. And Wasted Spacer takes a little time and talks about what it takes to do stuff like this. You've got to first of all, you just have to do it. You have to want to do it, and then you've got to get together some software. You got to make sure you have the right equipment, a mic, everything's hooked up, all the. And I had a problem with this for a long time and still do on occasion. You got to make sure all the volumes are correct and all the buttons you push are in the right place, all that kind of stuff. And I thought Wasted Spacer's stuff was good. The only problem with the Wasted Spacers, and he's working on it, is the volume of the game was too high, and it was really hard to hear what he was saying. But I did appreciate he had several good points. What I really liked about his information, and most of it touched on it, but he got into it pretty well, is he was talking about the kind of the high ground on Proc on I think it's the 1-2 line, the side I was on. He had a pretty detailed investigation on what was going on up there, so that was good stuff right there. I'd recommend listening to that part if you use that part of the map. That was really good. Also good points about not going to the middle that early. A couple of you guys touched on that, but Wasted Spacer broke it down about, dude, why are you going into the middle? It would be interesting, I think, in the future to do a collab with people on a game, maybe one that was platooned. It would be better if you had a couple of the red guys available too, and then do like a debrief style afterwards and break it down because then you can ask people questions about why did you do that. One of the reasons I went into the middle right there is because that's the side I was on was collapsing. What I was worried about is there was 3 or 4 tanks going to show up and I was going to get trapped over there. Turns out there was only one. A couple of you guys made a good point about counting noses, and I should have known that there really wasn't much over there. And pushing down the one line right there and cleaning it up first would have probably done me a lot of good, and I think Wasted Spacer touches on that quite a bit as well. So very good advice from everybody right there. And the last thing is, I did like showing the high ground there, Wasted Spacer, with the extra editing, because you went into the free camera and did a couple things showing different angles and coming up there, which is something I don't necessarily do because I do a lot of my stuff in one take and I just stick with the view of the tank. But there's a lot of utility to doing free camera, doing a couple more edits, showing positions from different angles so people see what you're talking about. Because it's one thing to say you should be up in that bush or that position. It's another thing to take that camera and go, hey, this is the bush. Here's how it looks. Here's where you would go. And that's, again, another level of the editing, and costs you time and effort, and it's all a trade-off, So that was cool, man. I appreciate sending all those stuff in. So Noble Wolf for overall, number 1, that's $40. Bonzi for the thing I didn't notice because of the T6. and then I'll figure it out here in a minute. The Chief 1893 for best advice overall. So 20 to the Chief, 40 to Bonzi, 20 to Bonzi, 20 to the Chief, 40 to Noble Wolf. All right, guys. Appreciate that. Again, check out the links down below. Well worth it. A couple of them are quite funny. I really enjoyed this. That was good stuff, guys. We'll do another contest sometime in the near future. But I will say, for those of you who look to be starting, small channels and thinking about doing stuff like this, it doesn't have to be tanks. It can be whatever you want that you're interested in. Tanks is fine if that's what you want to do. But I've enjoyed the content creation thing. Eventually, if you get going and put enough time and effort into it, you can make a little cash, or maybe if you're a lot better than me, a lot of cash. And you can pay for your hobby by doing something you enjoy. All it takes is time, and obviously everybody doesn't have an infinite amount of time, so it all depends on where your priorities are. But a couple of you got a good start, got a good idea of how it works, and so that's kind of what I was looking for right here. All right, guys, I do appreciate it. Let me know what you think down below in the comments for everybody else. And if you want to throw out your favorites in there, go ahead and do so. We'll see how close it is to Guido's favorites. That might be an interesting little exercise. Take a look at them and tell me which ones you liked the best. All right, that's all I've got, guys. Thanks for coming in. I'm just about done with my coffee. We will see ya.